Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight. I hope everyone is feeling okay. It's been a crazy week. So let's get started. It's been a crazy week. Let me let my dog in just a second. Hold on. Come on, let's go. All right, guys. All right. So tonight, hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate all the subs. My new subs, I appreciate you all. Okay. Hopefully they won't take us down, honey. Who knows what's going on with Donald Trump because he is on a rampage. Okay. The man is feeling himself. And it's a hot, stinky mess. Now, I don't know about you, but I have been going through a lot of emotions up and down. 1 minute I'm angry, 1 minute I'm sad, 1 minute I'm crying. It's still the same old stuff. And so, hello, Mel MC, NYC. Hello, Cherie. Hello, Gwen. Hey, Cindy Turner. Hey, University with Marie. I appreciate you all being here tonight and everybody that's watching. So yeah, like I said, I was going through a lot of emotions. Like a lot of people are going through a lot of emotions. I just had I went to a brunch yesterday with a friend of mine. And he brought, hello, Brenda. Hello, Skeleton. Section 8. Section 8. And he had a friend. We went to brunch, and he had one of his friends who happens to be in a political scene out here in Atlanta. So hopefully I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with her, with you all here talking, because she had a lot of insight, guys, a lot of insight. And it was it was a great conversation that we had. So yeah. So like I said, Donald Trump is doing a lot of stuff, and you can't get too emotional about it because he's just out there signing stuff, right? He's trying to rile up his base, get his base all with their pumps chest, their chest all poked out, thinking that all the stuff is going to stand. We don't know if it is. So let's not get too invested, because that's what they want. And that's one of the things she said. And it's one of the things my husband is telling me every day. Don't get too invested in it. Mel NYC even said, Miss Sunny, don't get too invested in these, what he's doing, because a lot of this is not going to, it's not going to stand, right? Because just like that's just like him sending the Mexicans or the immigrants back, trying to send them back to Mexico and wherever he can drop them off off on the plane. It's illegal. So it's just, this man is just doing too much. And I think one of my issues with it, is not my only issue, but one of my issues with it is that he is literally taking, basically trying to get rid of Black history and what your ancestors stand for did here. So yesterday when I got up, I read an article about him, or the headline, telling the Air Force that they can't teach about the Tuskegee Airmen and in the Air Force flying the planes. And I got so upset, I just started crying. And I was like, this man is trying to wipe away our history, just wipe it away like it doesn't exist. And I find it very disgusting of him to do that. It's appalling. And I don't know if he's trying to me, it was like he's trying to send us a message like, you all are next. We're going to put you on a plane and going to send you back to Africa. Right. And so this is how I see that he's just doing his thing, with his chest out, like he's the man, he's the king. And honest to God, right now, he's playing the role of a dictator. Okay. The way he's talking to people, the way he's talking down to people, he's playing his role as a dictator. Now, we tried to warn everybody about Project 2025 before the election. A lot of people didn't think it was real. So it's in full effect. In full effect. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I didn't write down everything, but I got some things down. And to me, the major things that he pushed this week. All right, there's your boy. Let's do it this way. Okay. Hopefully I can see it. All right, 2025, Project 2025, full effect. DEI rights on in civil rights. He put a freeze on the civil rights and he pushed this DEI thing, getting rid of DEI. And that's happening all over. So the firing of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI officers in the government, and the dismantling of the DEI programs and companies signal a growing backlash against such initiatives. While DEI programs were designed to create more inclusive environments, address systemic inequity, and promote diverse leadership, critics argue that they can be divisive, costly, or ineffective in achieving their goals. In recent years, some government entities and corporations have scaled back on eliminating these efforts, citing political pressure, economic challenges, or a shift toward prioritizing merit-based practices. This trend has sparked an intense debate, with supporters warning that dismantling DEI programs could reverse progress on workplace equity and representation, while opponents claim these initiatives unfairly prioritize identity over qualifications. The rollback of DEI policies affect broader societal tensions about how diversity and fairness should be defined and pursued in modern institutions. Okay, and some of the companies that have dropped the DEI programs since Trump has come into office and put forth this agenda. Target, Walmart, Meta platforms, that is Facebook, I guess, and it was Facebook, and IG, Instagram, Amazon, McDonald's, Ford, Harley Davidson, Brown Foreman, I have no idea what that is, John Deere, and Lowe's. Okay. Oh gosh. Unrepresented communities. And this is what DEI is. Okay. This is the effect of DEI on when you get rid of DEI. Now, let me say this before I go on. I went over to look at Tabitha Brown, and if you all know who Tabitha Brown is, Tabitha Brown was a woman that was on YouTube. She blew up on YouTube. She's actually an actress and everything, but she blew up on YouTube because she was like, "Hey there, hey guys." She was real sweet, and she just blew up. And so she was able to. Sorry, can you lay down? She was able to monetize greatly, become well known, and she's super sweet. She's a vegetarian or vegan, I think, and she would show her vegan dishes as well as other things. And so now she has spices, she has clothes, and a lot of things, books, and a lot of things, because she had partnered with Target. So she put out a video, I believe this morning, I saw the video, where she's saying, do what you have to do. If you want to boycott Target or any of these businesses, she understands. But she also said that boycotting Target would be, it would affect Black businesses that are Black women or people who have businesses who have partnered with Target and still have their items in Target that they are selling. Hey, Natasha. So you not shopping there or not shopping there at all could hurt their small business or their products and stuff that's in Target, and Target will pull them. Now, if you go into Target and just buy their products, find out what Black owned companies that are in Target and just purchase those products, that's a possibility that they would have to bring back these initiatives. Black people spend more money than any other, we're the biggest consumers in this country. And they know that. And if we just cold turkey stop, we would affect everything in this country. But we're not going to do that as a whole. We know that's not going to happen. But if you go in and you say, you know what? Okay, I can't stop shopping at Target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm just going to purchase Black-owned products. Since you want to get rid of DEI, I was surprised to hear this about Target. But since Target wants to get rid of DEI initiatives, let's go in and purchase things that is affecting where DEI, is what Target is trying to block. So purchase things from women, from Black women-owned businesses, LGBTQ. Find out who owns those businesses or those products and shop that way. You got to be smart when we go out here and start shopping and spending your hard-earned dollars. Okay, this is a fact. This is why I put the video out with this woman telling us everybody where not to shop to. I put out 2 of them, where to shop and where not to shop. I will be putting out another one if I have to. I will, because if you go on to Goods Unite Us, it tells you where these companies, who they donate to. And it is a lot of them that donate to the Trump, to the Republican Party, and also who donated to Trump, because anything that has to do with the Republican Party has everything to do with Project 2025. I'm just telling y'all this. It ain't pretty, but we have to stand the ground. Now, we don't have to come out here. We don't have to go out here and protest in these streets. And I wouldn't advise that right now, to be honest with you. Protesting, no. Because the people that Donald Trump is implementing into his office, with Pete Hegseth, I don't know how you say his last name, but with Pete, the pretender, and this other guy they're getting ready to put in, Donald Trump was going to have so much control over these people. Now, remember the last time when Black Lives Matter was marching, and Donald Trump basically said, he asked General Kelly, can we just shoot him in the leg or something? He wanted to put the military on his own people. So I'm just telling y'all some of the nasty stuff going on right now. Okay. We tried to warn the people that didn't want to listen about Project 2025. The shit is real. It's real. Okay. So anyway, underrepresented communities, women and minorities, because I want also to let people know that DEI is not just about Black people. Okay. It's about women, the LGBT community. It is about people, what's the word I'm looking for? What is the word? People who are, I can't even think right now. Anyway, it'll come to me. So women and minorities, DEI programs often focus on increasing representation and reducing barriers for women, racial, ethnic minorities, and other marginalized groups. Stopping these programs can slow progress in closing wage gaps, promoting diverse leadership, and creating equitable opportunities. The LGBTQ plus individuals, DEI initiatives often address workplace inclusion and protections for the LGBTQ plus employees, which may be less prioritized in the absence of these programs. People with disabilities, that's what I was looking for. Disabled people. Okay, disabled people, people who deal with disabilities, you are stopping them from being able to get out here and be treated equally, or even give them the opportunity to have a job. Okay. Efforts to improve accessibility and inclusivity for disabled individuals might face setbacks without dedicated DEI resources. Employees and organizations, workplace climate. Employees benefit from DEI programs through initiatives like bias training, mentorships, opportunities, and employee resource groups. Losing these programs may negatively affect workplace moral and inclusivity. Talent development. DEI programs often help companies identify and nurture diverse talent. Without them, barriers to advancement may persist for historically excluded groups. Organizations themselves, innovation and productivity. Diverse teams are proven to be more innovative and effective. The absence of DEI programs could limit organizations' ability to foster creativity and collaborations across varied perspectives. Reputation. Companies that dismantle DEI programs may face backlash from customers, employees, and stockholders who value inclusion. Society as a whole. Equity gaps. DEI initiatives often address systemic inequalities, including disparities in education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. Stopping these efforts could slow societal progress and reduce inequities. Okay, youth and future generations. Young people enter the workforce may find fewer opportunities to work in inclusive, equitable environments if DEI programs are scaled back. Overall, stopping DEI programs disproportionately affects marginalized groups while potentially harming organizations' culture, productivity, and social responsibility efforts. Okay. So I had a conversation with my husband about this, and he said, well, you know, DEI has been around since like 2006. This is nothing. The Trump administration and all this campaigning, they brought this up to basically, you know, scare people as if people were coming in to take their jobs. So they jumped on DEI and saying, you know, these Black people are taking your jobs. These Hispanic people are taking your jobs. These homosexual people coming in taking your jobs. We don't want to see any more of this. Remember in Florida, oh, I don't want to see the rainbow flag dash all over Target. I don't want to see that. I don't want to have my child to come in and see that. We got to get rid of these books. People are too woke. This is all about being woke. This is all about knowing what's going on, you know, in your communities or just what's happening in the world. They don't want you to see that. So they brought up this whole DEI thing to make people attack that. And what you're doing with that is you're not giving people opportunities in the workforce, or you are not allowing people just to be themselves. And that's a problem. Donald Trump can be himself. He can shit in his pants when he out playing golf. He can do all those things and be himself and act like it's not happening. But it's happening because we've seen the shit stain in his pants, right? I mean, I've seen pictures of him. Why? I guess he passed gas, whatever, and shit on himself. I don't know. But, you know, they tell him, they say he has an odor. And he uses the bathroom or he can't control his bowels. That's what they say. Okay. All right, people. Your civil rights. Project 2025. Now, Kevin Johnson, I think that's his last name. I think his last name is Johnson, the bald-headed man who is the president of the Heritage Foundation, has said, look, we got a whole lot of stuff that's going on. And guess what? I'm not going to tell you what's happening. You're just going to find out. So, civil rights. Okay. I'm going to tell you how this is going to affect Black people. Under the new Department of Justice, the DOJ leadership, attorneys in the Civil Rights Division were instructed to pause or stop their usual work of initiating new legal actions or participating in ongoing cases related to civil rights issues, specifically new complaints. The attorneys are not allowed to file new lawsuits that aim to address alleged violations of civil rights laws, such as discrimination, voter suppression. See, voter suppression is who does it affect most? Marginalized people. Where are marginalized people? They either further out in the country or in the hood somewhere, right? Those are marginalized people. And so voter suppression. Remember, you can't give water to the people if they're standing in line to go out to vote. Remember that one? you'll get arrested if you give people water. Removing voter boxes. Remember? Removing voter where you can put your ballot boxes, ballot boxes, removing ballot boxes in certain areas so it was hard for them to get out and vote. So instead of having 20, they have 10 around the city. Oh, you got to get over there and do it. Oh, you put it in the wrong voter box. You don't live over there, ma'am. You live in this district. You can't vote over here because you live in that district. Okay. It's telling you, this is what they did. This is how slick these people wait 40 years. That's how slick they are now. I'll talk to y'all about something later. Anyway, where was I? Let's see. Civil rights laws such as discrimination, voter suppression, or police misconduct. Now, who does that affect more? You think about it and come say it in the chat. Okay. Amicus briefs. These are legal documents filed by parties who are not directly involved in a case, but have a strong interest in its outcome. The DOJ often files amicus briefs to advocate for a specific interpretation of civil rights laws. Halting this means the DOJ is no longer actively supporting civil rights cases through these briefs, other court documents. The pause extends to other legal filings that would typically advance or advocate for civil rights protections in various cases. Implication, civil rights enforcement stalls. This freeze could delay or prevent actions addressing systemic discrimination, police brutality, or violation of voting rights. Impact on communities. Vulnerable populations relying on federal enforcement to protect their rights may force prolonged harm or see their issues deprioritized. Policy shift. This signals a broader ideological shift in how the DOJ prioritize civil rights, possibly moving away from proactive enforcements towards other focuses. This type of directive often reflects a change in an administration's political priorities, indicating less emphasis on civil rights litigation as the government agenda. Okay, so, this is important because we understand that Donald Trump is transitioning and he has a transition team that's coming in to replace Joe Biden's whoever Joe Biden had put there. Maybe they had their job for, I don't know how long. But so he's coming in and he's moving. Now, people out. Now, when we talked about Project 2025, they said they had thousands of people that they were going to replace. They were going to replace these federal workers with Trump loyalists, right? So that was part of Project 2025. And so this is what the plan is. And I think this is why he's putting a halt on everything, because he's going to clean house. He's going to bring his people in, and only God knows what's going to happen next. Okay. And then it's just important for you all to understand what's going on. We can't just turn a blind eye. We can't sit back and say, you know what, I can't take it anymore. Because guess what? I can't take it anymore. And I'm sure a lot of people can't take it. We gotta say, you know what? I gotta keep fighting, because I'm fighting for my civil rights. I'm fighting for my rights to live in this country and to be in this country. This man is trying to steal everything from us. Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna move on. We can talk about it. The 14th Amendment. Now, this was very interesting. So we know that Donald Trump, like I said, he's trying to, he is shipping people off. And his main goal is, he said, was to get all the criminals out of the country, Hispanic or Mexican criminals, or the immigrants, the criminal immigrants, right? That's how you say it. And he wants to get rid of criminals, but yet he's releasing criminals. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like he's all over the place. So he's just a walking contradiction. Right. So it's okay. Those criminals stormed the Capitol. So I'm gonna give those people a pardon. He's giving all kind of people pardons. I just read the other day he let some woman go that was put in prison and she had like 150 fetuses in her basement. And she was some abortion activist with all these fetuses in her, and he let her go. He pardoned this wackadoo. So this man, whoever want to call him, because he ain't my president, I will never claim this man as a president of the United States. This man is a felon and he's a criminal, okay? And he should not be president right now. We all know that. We all know that. That's disgusting, and it's a detriment to society and to this country. And it doesn't look good for the office. Now, all the criminals that he's putting into place and sexual assaulters in these top, head of state whatever in this White House of his, in these positions, I'm so sick of it. I just don't know. I'm sick of it. Trust me. Anyway, so the 14th Amendment. Brenda Brewer says, I'm calling it. Okay. Okay, I'll probably do the same thing. I think that's cool. Donald Trump issued an executive order aiming to end birthright citizenship. Now, this is very important, y'all. I want y'all to listen to this because this gets even more important. So Donald Trump issued an executive order aiming to end birthright citizenship for children born in the United States to non-citizen parents. This action challenges the long-standing interpretation of the 14th Amendment, which grants citizenship to all persons born or naturalized in the United States. The executive order contends that the amendment has been misapplied to include children of non-citizens, asserting that such individuals are not subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S. The White House, in response, attorneys general from 22 states filed a lawsuit arguing that the executive order is unconstitutional and violates the clear language of the 14th Amendment. They emphasize that birthright citizenship has been a settled matter since the 1898 Supreme Court decision in United States versus Wong Kim Ark, which affirms citizenship for individuals born on U.S. soil, regardless of their parents' nationality. A federal judge in Seattle temporarily blocked the executive order, citing potential constitutional violations and the likelihood of irreparable harm if the policies were implemented. This legal battle underscores the contentious nature of interpreting the 14th Amendment's citizenships clause and highlights the ongoing debate over immigration and constitutional rights in the United States. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution explicitly applies to Black Americans, including the descendants of enslaved people. It was ratified in 1868, primarily to address issues of citizenship and equal protection following the Civil War and the abolition of slavery. My bad, can't see. Here's how it applies. Number one, citizenship clause. The 14th Amendment guarantees birthright citizenship, starting that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. This clause was intended to overturn the infamous Dred Scott versus Sanford 1857 decision, which denied citizenship to Black people, whether free or enslaved. The With the ratification of the 14th Amendment, formerly enslaved individuals and their descendants were granted full citizenship rights. Equal Protection Clause. The amendment includes the Equal Protection Clause, which mandates that no state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. This clause has been crucial in fighting racial discrimination, segregation, and other injustices that disproportionately affected Black Americans, particularly during the Civil Rights Movement. Privileges of Immunities Clause or Immunities Clause. The amendment also protects the privileges and immunities of citizens, ensuring that states cannot infringe on fundamental rights while its scope has been limited in subsequent legal interpretations. It was initially designed to safeguard the rights of newly freed Black Americans. The historical context. The 14th Amendment was a direct response to the failure of Southern states to recognize the rights of freedmen after the Civil War, as well as the rise of Black codes, laws that restricted the rights and freedoms of Black people. It formed a cornerstone of Reconstruction and laid the foundation for later civil rights advancements. Modern implications. The 14th Amendment remains central to legal arguments and decisions regarding racial equality, voting rights, affirmative action, and anti-discrimination laws. It underscores that Black Americans, including descendants of enslaved individuals, are fully entitled to the rights and protections of citizenships under the Constitution. Hey, Fetish Fashion, how you doing? So I wanted y'all to understand, if this man gets by with getting rid of this 14th Amendment, what they gonna do with us? So we can all sit back and say, you know what? For all these Mexicans, all these for all the people that wanted to send I don't want them over here like the lady in Chicago. You're bringing all these Hispanic people here. You setting them up pretty. All these immigrants, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's mad at the immigrants. You're pissed off about immigration and just too many Mexicans in your town. You know, too many Haitians over here. We don't want you here. They don't want us here either. Hello. So if you get rid of that 14th Amendment or ratify or whatever you do with it, what's going to happen to us? Who's next? Who is next? Right? Could be us. Could be could be you. You know, we sit here and say all day long, oh, I'm born here. I'm generation ancestor from slaves. You know, my ancestors were slaves. I'm more than sure of that. So, what is he going to do? Is he going to say, you know what? I have changed the 14th Amendment, and Miss Sunny, you don't belong here. You take your ass back to Africa. Do you know where your ancestors came from? What part of Africa they come from? Because we can send you back over there and get a plane ticket. But isn't that what I do believe? That's what I'm trying to drop a link here. That's what Abraham Lincoln wanted to do when he freed the slaves. Everybody want to put Abraham Lincoln on this pedestal. But the reality is, he said, free the slaves. This plan was to send them back to Africa. Just saying, we prop these people up all the time. because now they ain't making us any money. So let's send them back. Send them back to Africa. We don't really want them here because America is white. And, so now Donald Trump is here. He's basically saying the same thing. And it's in your face. He's blatant in your face. This is Project 2025. And if when people didn't want to believe in, that doesn't exist. That's not real. That's not his plan. It's his plan. He's showing you right now. He's breaking it down. And Kevin Johnson is laughing. He's laughing. This little smirky, bald-headed man is laughing with that little nasty smirk on his face. He loves every bit of it because they want to make America all white. That's what they want. We can sit here and play like that's not what's happening. I promise you, that's what's happening. And we're sitting here and hopefully, thank God a judge shot it down. This trying to send people home and take away people's birthrights. Oh no, you're just going to sign it away. Donald Trump just wants to sign it and, get rid of people. It's like getting rid of people. I just don't want them here. Move, get out, leave. It's the blatant nastiness and the bullying that this man is doing. It's disgusting. And sometimes I look at it and I listen to it every day. And I just have to I'm about to get into some real meditation. For real. Because this is scary. Okay, I don't know. We can sit here and pretend like I'm not scared, but I'm worried. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm very worried about what's to come. This man, the first 100 days, he's gonna be just signing stuff away. I'm scared someone's gonna knock on my door and say, "Give me your Second Amendment rights. Hand it over." Because you, Black person, do not deserve to have that instrument. I really believe that. My sister told me about 5 years ago that she had this dream. And her dream was there were people, there were tanks, and there were military walking in the street and just stopping people, asking for their birth certificate to make sure that they were American citizens. And they were just stopping everybody people of color, if they had birthright citizenship in this country. And she's like, she just woke up out her dream. She was sweating real bad, just sweating. It just scared her. She said, the dream was so surreal that she was just nervous and, scared. And she's like, I feel like that's going to happen. And this is right after Obama, then Trump, then, she said, and when Trump got reelected, she was like, it's going to happen. So I'm sitting down at the brunch and, we have Cop City out here. This is a big thing out here in Atlanta. So they talked about it and I was like, what is Cop City? Because I've been seeing these people going in and basically protesting Cop City. I didn't know what Cop City, I didn't know what it is. And basically it's a training center for police officers to where they will be able to have tanks in the street, marching, stopping people, frisking people, all this stuff. You had a lot of I believe Antifa and stuff were out there protesting that here in Atlanta. It's been going on for like 3 years now. And so when I was having a conversation with the young lady, she was like, yeah, that's a big deal because now they see that as working. They think it's a good idea and they're getting ready to spread that into other states. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on. Cop City. They've been preparing. This is nothing that they have been doing. They have been preparing. While we are over here worried about this god doggone P. Diddy and what he did, right? And what he's doing or what he did and him being in jail. While we so worried about what the best movie is or Best actor, Wicked. You shouldn't be watching Wicked. It shouldn't be a green girl and Ariana Grande and all this other stupid stuff that's happening, that's going on. That's all distraction. We've been so distracted by nonsense that we don't even know what's going on in our own cities, in our own towns. These white folks out here marching with masks on their face. It's the new Ku Klux Klan with these white masks on their face. They just went out and they did a march on January 25th, 25th or 24th. These young boys marching for in Washington, D.C., a white supremacist group. They have plenty of them marching, hundreds of them marching in the streets. Okay, telling you that we don't want you here. So you could take it however you want to take it. You can ignore it if you want to. Ignoring it is not going to help because it's here. And it's blatant. And I guarantee you, you know, some people are going to say some crazy shit to you. They tried me yesterday. I got tried again by a woman this time. Right? It's the boldness of people now. Not everybody is like this, but there's a lot of them since Trump has got elected. They feel like they can, you know, excuse me, look down on you. But I'm not here for it. I'm not the one for it. My husband will tell you, honey, I go decked out, dressed up, sit down, have a cocktail, wear my heels, whatever. But what you're not going to do is you are not going to disrespect me to my face. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I'm here for it. And I'm being for real. I'm here for it. So I won't be punked. Because it's better. You know, because a lot of y'all know I'm not going to get online and talk a lot of mess. I'm not doing that. But if we face to face, we can work it out by any means necessary. And I'm telling you, these people are out here now. They sizing people up, and they sizing up, especially Black women. They come in and they're blatantly rude, blatant, and it's sad. But you know, people gonna be people, I guess. Let's see. Trying to drop the link. Fetish Fashion say they call him Felon 47. That's cute. I like that name. All right. Well, let's see if I can drop a link, see if anybody wants to come up. It's kind of not letting me do that for whatever reason. But yeah, so you know, life is going to do what it's going to do, guys. Y'all just have to really be ready for it mentally more so than anything. Just be ready for what's going to happen. I don't know if any of y'all work if you're working in corporate America or if you're working in customer service type jobs or whatever. Just don't allow people to get to you. You can't allow that to happen, you know, because they will try. They're going to try because they're trolling hard right now. And Donald Trump is trolling hard by signing everything. He's trying to scare people. And my husband said it. Like I said, Mel said it. Mel NYC said it to me. And this young lady said, she said, they're trying to, this is a tactic that they are using by bullying people, by, trying to scare you, by saying all kind of stuff. This is just a tactic because they want you to back down and not move forward, whatever it is with the fight. They don't want us to continue to fight, and you have to continue to fight. I wanted to read this to you real quick, which is about the stores like Target and the reason why they're claiming that they're pulling back on these DEI programs. So Target said Friday that the changes is the changes to it is belonging at the bullseye strategy would include ending a program it established to help Black employees build meaningful careers, improve the experience of Black shoppers, and to promote Black-owned businesses following George Floyd's death in Minneapolis, where Target has its headquarters. Target, which operates nearly 2,000 stores nationwide and employs more than 400,000 people, said it also would conclude the diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI goals it previously yet in 3-year cycles. The goals included hiring and promoting more women and members of racial minority groups and recruiting more diverse suppliers, including businesses owned by people of color, women, LGBTQ plus people, veterans, and people with disabilities. Target also will no longer participate in surveys designed to gauge the effectiveness of its actions, including an annual index compiled by the Human Rights Campaign, a national LGBTQ plus rights organization. Target also said it would further evaluate corporate partnerships to ensure they're connected directly to business objectives, but declined to share their details. Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, said it was getting rid of its diversity, equity, and inclusion program, which featured policies for hiring, training, and picking vendors. Like other companies that announced similar changes before Meta, the social media giant said it had been reviewing the program since the Supreme Court's July 2023 affirmative action ruling. Citing an internal memo sent to employees, news websites, HCO said the Menlo Park, California-based tech giant concluded the ruling signaled a shift in how courts will approach DEI. Meta said it would no longer have a team focused on diversity and inclusion and will instead focus on how to apply fair and consistent practices that mitigate bias for all, no matter your background. The change means the company will also end its diverse slate approach to hiring, which involved considering a diverse pool of candidates for every open position. Joe Kaplan, Meta's freshly appointed global policy chief, told Fox News Digital that the move will ensure that the company is building teams with the most talented people instead of making hiring decisions based on protected characteristics. Amazon said it was halting some of its DEI programs, although it did not specify which ones. In a December 16 memo to employees, Candy Castleberry, a senior human resource executive, said the company has been winding down outdated programs and materials, and we're aiming to complete that by the end of 2024. We also know there will always be individuals or teams who continue to do well-intentioned things that don't align with our company-wide approach. And we might not always see those right away, but we'll keep at it, she wrote. Rather than have individual groups build programs, Castleberry said Amazon is focusing on programs with proven outcomes, and we also aim to foster a more truly inclusive culture. McDonald's. For years after launching a push for more diversity in its ranks, McDonald's said earlier this month that it is ending some of its diversity practices, citing a U.S. Supreme Court decision that outlawed affirmative action in college admissions. McDonald's said on January 6th that it will retire specific goals for achieving diversity in senior leadership levels. It also intends to end a program that encourages its suppliers to develop diversity training and to increase the number of minority group members represented within their own leadership ranks. Blah, blah, blah with McDonald's. Walmart. The world's largest retailer confirmed November that it would not be renewing a 5-year commitment for any equity racial center set up in 2020 after the police killing of George Floyd, and that it would stop participating in the HRC's Corporate Equity Index. Walmart also said it will better monitor its third-party marketplace to make sure items sold there do not include products aimed at LGBTQ plus minors, including chest binders intended for transgender youth. Additionally, the company will no longer consider race and gender as a litmus test to improve diversity when it offers supplier contracts. And it won't be gathering demographic data with determining financing eligibility for those grants. And then you have a tractor supply and all this. I don't shop and tractor supply, but anyway. So, they're getting rid of. I personally believe that, like McDonald's, well, Walmart specifically. Yeah, they hire people in management positions, especially if you can get to those positions, they pay very well. Especially like at a Sam's Club or something like that. But to sit there and say, oh, we're getting rid of it, that's their way. Now you don't have affirmative action. And now you don't have DEI. So I'm sure those people won't have those positions anymore. You probably be grandfathered in, but Walmart probably will not be 1 out of 20. If you understand what I'm saying, they'll probably put 1 out of 20, one Black person out of 20 others to fulfill these positions. I used to go into Walmart. I used to be a merchandiser, and I used to go into Walmart. And Walmart is a company that do not treat their employees very well. They just don't. Now, I don't know if anything changed over the years or whatever, but they will work them until they couldn't work them anymore. And literally, these people were not really getting paid. They really didn't have, you get into overtime or anything like that. I don't think Walmart liked to pay overtime. That was one of the things that I remember talking to a young man. He was like, yeah, they don't want you working overtime because they don't want to pay you. They just don't want to pay you. Walmart is one of those companies now, and that was years ago. So Walmart has never been a place that I like to shop, or even, you heard that too, Cherie? I never like to shop there. I just don't like spending my money in Walmart. And when I moved out here to the country, we had to go to Walmart. The Target was further down, but Target is more expensive, right? And so I didn't really shop at Target because Target, they have cute stuff, but as far as food, or they just always just a little bit more expensive. And I like Target, but now, and I would go in during Black History Month and buy some products from or items from Black artists or designers and stuff like that when they would showcase them. But now that's not going to happen anymore. And it's always, some Karen out there. Because what's in my mind when I'm thinking right now is about this lady who went into Target and they had the LGBTQ plus stuff during Pride Week or Pride Month. And a lady got upset about it. I think it was in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And she was so upset by it that she was like, you got to take this down. I don't want my child looking at this. I mean, it's just rainbows. I don't understand that, because I know TJ Maxx does that. I know a lot of companies do that. They have, you're making money. So now you're not going to showcase, Pride stuff. So now, or like they said in Walmart, they're not going to have the binders for young girls who, I don't know what that is, but you don't want to have binders for young women who, that need it, or transgender that need it. I don't know what binders are. I'm assuming it's something that has to do, you say binder, probably something you want to keep their breasts hidden or something. But I think it's sad. I think it's sad. I think it's like you're trying to erase what they're doing. In my mind, is they're trying to wipe everything out. They're whitewashing everything. They don't want any of that to be seen. They don't want it to exist. You can't act like people do not exist. If it wasn't for, the LGBTQ plus communities, or the Black culture, I don't know what white America would do, white people would be doing right now. I just don't know. I really don't know. You wouldn't be TikTok dancing. I mean, I don't know. You wouldn't be rapping. I find it very interesting that what's the name want to be racist, but then want to be a rapper at the same time. Roseanne. You want to be a racist and you want to be a rapper with your braids and all this and that, and I don't get it. These people are, and I ain't talking about all white folks. I'm talking about these specific MAGA weirdos that want to be racist, don't want people around. They don't want anybody bringing their culture. You want to steal the culture. You want to, like one girl I saw on TikTok said, you want to come fly to our country. You want to come to Mexico, swim in our beaches, eat tacos, celebrate, celebrate what is it in May 5th? You want to do all this Cinco de Mayo stuff. You want to do all these things, but then you don't want us to exist. It's like you have no culture. You want the culture, you just don't want the people. I don't understand it. So what happens if, they come knocking on your door asking you for your birth certificate, black people? I'm talking specifically to black people. They get rid of this amendment. If they amend that doggone 14th Amendment. And they come to you, I don't have a problem. I watch Young, Rich, and African. Shit, I go to Africa. I move to Africa. Live the rest of my life out. They got nice houses out there. They look good. The people out there look nice, fun. They dress, they look good. They look like they have a good time. I'm okay with it. My question to you is, how you gonna feel? They come knocking on your door and ask for your birth certificate and say to you, oh, you gotta go. You can't be here. You cannot be here. This is America. This is America today. This is white America today. You can't be here. You gotta go. How that's gonna make you feel? This is why I always say, when they start off with one group of people, that's when your flag should go up. Your antenna should go up in your head. And that could be me. I could be next. This is why if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's a problem. This man is a problem to this country. Mr. Bone Spurs, who ain't never did anything in his life great. There's nothing great that Donald Trump has done. Nothing. This man is, I could sit here and preach to you all night long, telling you what, but you already know what it is. You already know, because we have I sat here and said it over and over again. And I'm sure you all went out and talked about Project 2025 and you spread the word. I said, spread the word. These people got to get out here, got to get out, got to vote. Project 2025 is real. It's real. These white nationalists, they ain't no joke. Because you know who's a white nationalist? The white nationalist is Kevin Johnson. White nationalist is your VP. Beelzebub. That's what I call him. Your VP Beelzebub, white nationalist. Even though he got an Indian wife, he's still a white nationalist. He wrote some of that Project 2025. With his Indian wife, with his cross-dressing and all that, he still wrote it. He don't want us here. Now, I don't know if he did that because he was told to do it. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I just know what he showed me. When that priest looked at Donald Trump and told them, be kind to people, have a heart. People are scared. They are afraid of what your agenda is and what taking them out of a country they've always known and sending them somewhere they don't know. People are afraid. Yes, and so is and so is our new Secretary of Defense. He's a white nationalist. This is a racist country. And you can sit here and say, oh, no, it's not racist. It's class. This country is racist. You go look up white nationalists. I did a whole video on white live about white nationalists. It's the Ku Klux Klan. At the end of the day, it's KKK. It's what it is. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be walking around no red dress with no white hat on my head. I'm not doing that. That don't even look good. I'm not doing it. So, it's just, I don't know how this man got here. I don't even know how this man was able to run for president. And 77 million people voted for him. And I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. Now, everybody's saying he's only going to last for 2 years. I give him 2 years at tops. This man is trying to run again. In his first week, he's saying, oh, I think I want to see if I can get a third term. I'm like, this dude is off the chain. He's coming in saying now he want to serve 3 terms. And so if you watch Don Lemon, because Don Lemon had brought it up as well. So this was one of the conversations we had yesterday. Because everybody's thinking, oh, well, if he gets 3 terms, Obama could run for office. Well, no, that's not true. Because he would have to have served 2 consecutive terms. Obama served 2 consecutive terms. Donald Trump has not served 2 consecutive terms. So I believe it says somewhere in the Constitution, don't quote me on this, but you have to serve 2 consecutive terms in order to not be able to run again. So this man is going to find a way to run for office a 3rd time. Will he win? I doubt it. That won't happen. Now, they said that if he ran again and won on his 3rd term, or it was something about J.D. Vance could run and have Donald Trump as his VP, and then he would step down and allow Donald Trump to become president again. That's a possibility. I heard that somewhere. I was like, yeah, this man would be 80-something years old. I cannot. It's all this stuff. It's like my anxiety is higher than I don't even have high anxiety. I don't stress out. I don't do any of that stuff. And now it's just like, I know that I'm stressing a little bit. I mean, I don't have a high blood pressure. I don't have any of that stuff. But I know I'm stressing a little bit more than usual. And my anxiety level is a tad bit higher. I don't even be stressing about stuff like this. I don't. But I'm stressed. I'm just like, this shit is crazy. Like, and the only thing I can think in my head is how Jewish people were going through life, just living their best life during Hitler time. And they knew about this man. Yeah. Yeah. And they knew about this man that was out, doing speeches and saying things, exact thing that Donald Trump is doing. But they just kept living their life and they kind of ignored it or whatever. Maybe they kind of got the ones that were smart enough left the country. So I'm getting out of here. I'm not doing this. And you think like, I don't know if this is, I don't know. And you stay. And the next thing you know, they got you wearing a patch on you saying that you're Jewish, the star. You wear that on you. I'm talking about Jewish people. One day they were living a life just regular, smegular, as Cardi B would say. They live in this regular life, just going on their daily duties, doing what they do, living life. And then just like that, because you ignored this man. And this is what we're doing right now. We're just going on with life, living life, doing our thing, whatever. And it's not a day that I don't, since he's been elected the last week, I'm thinking to myself, and it was before he was elected. I thought Kamala was going to win. But when she didn't win, I started thinking like this. Now, this is my thought process. So I'm sitting here thinking, this morning I woke up, I was like, today is a good day. It's a beautiful day. It's a nice day. But tomorrow could be different. Right? So I said, I'm just thinking I could wake up tomorrow and be something completely different. Where I have to wear something on my jacket saying that I'm not whatever. I'm not American and I'm about to be shipped off any day. You can pull me aside and put me on a train to some unknown place in a camp somewhere just because of the color of my skin. Because how did they pick out Jewish people? Who's going to throw us under the bus? It's the question. Natasha says, I've been buying a bunch of old books to have written story. When I'm saying to you, what books have you bought? Paula says Kamala did win, 47 cheated with the help of the techie guy. I mean, that's what I believe too, Paula, but I need proof. We need proof. I believe that too. I believe that with everything in me. And here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking today, what are Democrats doing? What are we doing? What are the Democrats doing to allow this to happen? What's the plan? What is the plan? Are they going to continue to allow Donald Trump to keep going on with with all this rhetoric and everything? Pushing this narrative and this agenda, this Project 2025 agenda that he's pushing. And when I'm telling you he's doing it with his chest poked out, he is doing it with his chest poked out. It is nasty. But what are the Democrats doing? Because I feel like no one is saying anything. It's very blase. Like this is not going to happen. This is the last time when Donald Trump was voted in the first time. Possibly. I don't even know if he won that election. But when he was president the first time and he was doing all the things, he had people that would stand up and say, you can't do this, sir. This is not how we run the country, sir. You can't do that. This is not, feasible. So he always had a block. Someone was blocking him. Now it's different. He doesn't have that. So you put Pete Hegseth in, you put this woman in, you got this other guy coming in. I can't think of these people's name. I really don't want to care to know their names, to be honest with you. But you have all these people coming in working for you, and they're just gonna be yes people. Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, no problem. So it's like no one's gonna tell him no. They're just gonna do it. And then he's threatening people. During election time, if you don't pick the people, if you don't choose the people that I pick and push them forward, during election time, you're going to have a hard problem. You're going to have a problem. You're going to have a hard time because getting elected again, and they're going to make sure of it. These are all threats. He's making threats to senators and congressmen, and just so he can get his people pushed forward. These yes men. To have Enrique and the guy from these people from the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers come to the White House. Now, I don't know if you all saw an interview, but I saw an interview where they asked him, do you think the people that you pardoned, the Enrique guy and then this leader of the Oath Keepers, do you think they would be good Are you thinking about putting them in, working for you in your branch or whatever, working for him? He said it's a possibility. Now, why would you have these criminals in the White House working for you? What is the agenda there? Natasha said, let's not forget the Japanese were put in camps. The Mexicans had their land taken away from them. Oklahoma fires. We have seen the government abuse citizens. Exactly. Yes, we have. We absolutely have. We have definitely, the history has shown us this has happened. And if we don't stick up for ourselves, it will happen again. Now we can sit here and shake in our shoes or whatever and be afraid and not do anything and watch it unfold before, because it's unfolding right in front of us. We are literally watching history repeat itself. If you don't know your history, you are bound to repeat it, right? And this is what's happening. It's repeating itself blatantly. So we really have to come together. We're going to have to stick together. We got to be a team. We got to keep fighting, keep talking to people. Got to want to see where people are coming from. What's their angle? Natasha, you're on IG, right, Natasha? Because I want to talk to you about something. We definitely want to stay focused. Don't get sidetracked. Pay attention. Listen. Start galvanizing little pockets of people in your areas, in your neighborhoods. Start talking to people in your neighborhoods. And I'm about to give y'all something. Start talking to people in your neighborhoods. Because in 2016, in 2026, we're going to have to get this man out of office. We're going to have to get the House switched over to the Democratic side. We got to take back the House. This is very important. We got to make Hakeem Jeffries the leader, the Speaker of the House. We have to. If this does not happen, we are in trouble. Okay? Please, I am begging you guys to galvanize with people in your communities. Talk to people. Go call your senators. Go talk to your mayors. Please. We got to start voting for our we got to go out and vote for the governors and the senators and the councilmen. We have to vote this way. It is very important. We got to flip this house in 2026. We all going to be moving. I'm just going to pack my stuff. I'm going to go. And I'm going to be on the island somewhere. Okay, Natasha, I'm going to hit you up on IG. Brenda Rubber said Walmart, McDonald's, Amazon will not get any of my money. Yeah, I don't shop at Walmart anymore. And I just told my husband to get rid of Amazon because he has an Amazon Prime, whatever that mess is. I don't have that mess, but yeah. He's talking about getting rid of that. Paula, there are so many businesses that gave to this campaign. It's a lot. That video that I posted up, like I said, go to Goods Unite Us. And maybe I'll have a video where I'll go live and I'll talk about how you can go to Goods Unite Us. You can type in certain names and it'll pull up the company's name. And it tells you the percentages of what they donated. who they donated to. It'll tell you red. Good as United. I have it on my phone. I get alerts all the time telling me they have a new company. They found a new company and what they donate and the donations, what they give. It's off the chain. I mean, it's off the chain. So it's just, it's, it is mind-boggling. And but corporations are going to vote Republican, right? Because they want the tax break. That's understandable. But Donald Trump, that's why I was like, y'all can't wait to go till y'all get another president, somebody else to come in and then go say, you know what, I'm gonna take the loss these 4 years. I'm gonna go ahead and put my money on Kamala, put her in office, because Donald Trump is just not the answer. And then y'all get a better Republican. They couldn't do that. No, they couldn't do that. They didn't want to do. They don't care. These people don't care about us. Michael Jackson said they don't care about us. H-Tub, I stopped Amazon Prime, Walmart, and Facebook. I can't even remember my Facebook password because I never go on Facebook. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Facebook once I figure it out. You care? Thank you. But Donald Trump, not Donald Trump, Michael Jackson, they don't really care about us. And they, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about these corporations. It's about money. It's all about money. And I believe that, CNN and these major corporations and major news channels, mainstream news channels wanted Donald Trump to win because they want the ratings. They want that. They don't care. What is this? Oh, Queen Toast Child. So they don't care. So what they all they care about is the money. They want the tax break. They want to have the bigger boats. Everybody wants to be the richest person in the world. It's gonna be hard trying to catch up to Elon Musk because he's going to be a trillionaire within the next year or so. That's why I say follow the money. Follow the money. I read it. Everybody's thinking, let me say this. Everyone thinks that I'm shutting down cable as soon as my contract is up. Okay, H-Tub is about that life. Everybody was thinking that they had the stop the war in Gaza. They had a peace deal in Gaza. Well, Israel is still bombing Palestinians. Okay, they're still taking them out in the West Bank. So when Donald Trump sits up there and says, well, if y'all haven't seen the video, he's been interviewed about what's happening. The money, he was saying how Gaza, there's nothing there. It's a nice piece of land, right? It's on the beach, it's nice, and maybe we'll go in and build it back up. Who you think gonna get that contract? Jared Kushner, his son-in-law. See what I'm saying? It's a money grab. Donald Trump is here for a money grab. What he's doing when he's signing all this stuff, he's doing that for the Heritage Foundation. That's the Heritage Foundation, the civil rights and removing people and birthright stuff. That's all heritage. That's Project 2025. That is their agenda. Donald Trump's agenda is making money. That's why he has Elon Musk. Elon Musk's agenda is getting all these government contracts. So what? So he can become a trillionaire, right? I don't condone anything that Elon Musk says. And maybe he does have Asperger's. I don't know. Personally, I don't think he's human. And I've been saying that for the last 3 years. I don't think he's human. I think he is shape-shifting every day. Okay, trying to keep that whatever skin he got on. to me, he's just another someone walking among us. That's my opinion. That's what I believe. I believe that with everything in me. And I've been said that a long time ago. This man doesn't have any empathy for people. His brother said that. Y'all can say he has Asperger's. Y'all believe that? I believe something different. Maybe he does. But I know one thing, he doesn't have empathy. He's not empathetic. And he did that salute, that Nazi salute, on purpose. It wasn't because, oh, we got the one thing that we have to stop doing is condoning people's actions. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. If he has Asperger's or not, believe him the first time. This man is signed up to certain stuff, to certain white supremacist groups, websites. He's members or whatever. He signed up to it. He follows white supremacist groups on his X site. He's over there in Germany telling them to go ahead. You should get rid of these people and get back to being true Germans or whatever he said. You know, just he's a racist or yeah, a white supremacist. I'm trying to think of the word without saying what I want to say. Cut SpaceX. They don't believe in science, but they want to go to Mars. Exactly. Exactly, because he wants to make money. He wants to put implants in your head because it makes you go faster. It makes you feel less human. Come on now. Got to pay attention. Got to pay attention. Got to stay focused. And you got to listen. Got to listen to what they're saying. And they are so in your face. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time. There ain't no chances. We don't have any more chances. Our chances are gone. When they didn't allow Kamala Harris to fight her fight and say, you know what? No, I'm not stepping away. We're going to go get back over to the counting. Y'all, if y'all got to count every day for the next 9 months, then that's what you do. I don't think Joe Biden should have. I don't think that Joe Biden should have conceded. I mean, say, you know what? I don't think Kamala Harris should concede it. And I don't think Joe Biden should have walked away. I think Joe Biden should have said, you know what? I'm the president. I can do whatever I want to. Because who said that? Who said that? The Supreme Court said that. Because they said that Donald Trump could do whatever he wanted to. He was, you know, he could get whatever because he's the president. And I think Joe Biden should have did the same thing. And they should have did a recount or whatever. Something. Instead of letting this man, you just got to fight fire with fire, y'all. That's all I'm trying to say. You got to fight fire with fire. We're playing too much. And the Democrats are trying to be so good and so decent. Those days are over. We're not there anymore. Pandora's box has been opened. So let's play. This man is talking about serving another term. He'll laugh and joke about it. No, I'm joking, but he's serious. Just like he said, are you going to be a dictator? Maybe for one day. Now, everything he's passing and pushing is all dictatorship type of stuff. Joe Biden and Democrats have failed the U.S. Or they know something we don't know. Yeah, they should have never let him run. And that was one of the conversations that we had. They should have never let this man run for office. I know, child. I know. H. Tubb said, we have recruiting problems already due to the social engineering attempt. In Florida, $4 billion a year is spent on school vouchers, $7,700 per student, and it's a welfare check. Project 2025 would test all public school system students for military service and exempt voucher students. The only reason for that is to destroy the public school system. Paula said, I bought a super box. You don't need cable. You can get all the premium channels at no extra cost. Y'all hear that? Paula said you can buy you a super box so you don't need cable. Project 2025 will test all public school system students for military service and exempt voucher students. The only reason for that is to destroy the public school systems. But he's going to get rid of, Gwen said, I think he should have stayed. Me too. But aren't they going to, but that's part of Project 2025 as well, right? Because they do want to get rid of, Donald Trump is going to come in and he's going to get rid of the school board or the school, what's it called? Well, it's going to affect, and most of those people that's going to be affected by him shutting down the board of education is, it's going to affect marginalized people, children, inner city schools. They won't be getting the same education. This is like before. This is like the 80s, Department of Education, yeah. It's going to affect these kids, and mostly inner city children, marginalized children, right? It's not going to be the rich kids. They don't have to worry about that. We talked about this Project 2025. I don't understand why people were sleeping on it. Like he's not doing that. He's not part of Project 2025. Oh, that project. He doesn't have anything to do with Project 20. And I'm talking, trust me, I talk to people on on blogs and stuff, and I'm talking about Black folks too. We're big on Project 2025. That's nothing. I went to other Black channels. He ain't doing Project 2025. If you listen to some of these YouTubers that were all hell bent on voting for Black people, voting for Donald Trump, that was one of the things they would say, that he is not part of Project 2025. You can get on TikTok and you could have got on YouTube and watch these people that are these pro-Trump people. I'm talking about Black folks, because that kind of stuff, getting rid of the Board of Education or the Department of Education, Department of Education, that's going to affect Black people or people of color more than anything. Poor people, Black kids, Hispanic kids. If you don't send them all home, but he ain't gonna send them all home because that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. But that is going to affect a lot of people. The immigrants that have come here, escaping atrocities in their country. That's who it's going to affect. And these public school systems. If you can't afford private school, your child is going to be affected. And Pete Hessek is head of the military and fits with destroying the Department of Education. A lot of issues, y'all. We're dealing with a lot of stuff. How are we going to deal? I don't know. But like I said, I probably start meditating for real. But yeah, so if you haven't already joined my book, they've been burning books. They started that 2 years ago down there in Florida, burning a book. And wherever the other little southern town, they burning books, southern state, they're burning books. But if y'all haven't joined my channel, Sunny Perspective, where I told you all this is going to be a more positive, more lighthearted channel where we can just release tension, meditate, talk, and laugh. Please go join it. H-Tub said, don't panic. Do not obey in advance. Exactly. Do not obey in advance. So y'all go over there and y'all join my other channel where, we'll sit, talk, laugh. Like I said, I will be doing interviews with some people here that are in the community and that are helping the communities. And so we will be doing that lighthearted stuff. We may talk about a little fashion or whatever. Just have fun, just lighthearted stuff to keep you balanced, keep you mentally balanced as to what's happening. You know, we're going to also be here every Sunday alive. My link wasn't working tonight. I normally drop the link for anybody to come up and just talk. But you know, I always drop the link. You can come up anytime, have a great conversation, talk, release whatever you're feeling about this election and Donald Trump and whatever other mess he's gonna put into office in his administration. And just release some of that. Thank you, H-Tub. I appreciate you. And what are your concerns and stuff? And we can just go through it together. If you have any concerns, if you want to know something that you may not have time to do or look up, just you can hit me on IG. I'm on IG. Tell the people on Instagram, and you can message me in the back and say, "Hey, Sonny, you know, I don't really have time, but could you look this up for me and see what this is about? And maybe you want to talk about this or something to let the people know." Because I'm just overwhelmed. There's so much stuff going on. I'm overwhelmed sometimes. I'm just like, this is just a lot. So I'll shut down and just try to clear my mind. And then I can't clear my mind because my anxiety is high. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm tired. So I will definitely see y'all next Sunday. I will be putting out some more videos and stuff. But I appreciate you all being here tonight. I'm gonna love on you guys later. And y'all have a good night. And don't worry, be happy. See you guys. I love y'all guys. Thank you.